People ask me all the time, Steve, what is something that I can do easily, get results quickly, and the end result will be more fish? Well, without a doubt, it's casting accuracy. Let me just tell you a quick little story about casting accuracy. So one time I had the opportunity to go turkey hunting with Gerald Swindle. And we also spent some time bass fishing, and he had his rod and stuff all rigged up and ready to go before I was even, basically had what lure I wanted to pick out. And as I was getting finished up, he was casting, working down the shoreline, and my jaw just hit the boat deck. He was so good and so quick at putting that lure exactly where he wanted almost every single time. Sure seemed like every single time. I was like, yeah, sorry, my equipment's not working right. I'll just go ahead and watch you here for a little bit. Now, that's not what I did, but that's what I felt like. I was actually embarrassed to go ahead and pick up my rod and cast. He was so good, it was so intimidating. Well, there's 3 things that we can do quickly and easily, especially for anglers that are kind of new to the fishing world, and really if you're getting into bait cast equipment. These 3 things are just going to take your fishing to another level quickly, and I promise you the end result will be more bites. Number 1 is keep that rod tip moving. Okay, oftentimes beginning anglers will do like a start, stop, start type of a motion, and that's not the way you want to do it. You want to keep that rod moving the whole time. If you've ever watched really good fly anglers, fly fishermen, that's what they do. That rod is always moving. They're whipping it back and forth to get everything just right. Well, when we roll cast, same thing. I kind of like to think about it, make a nice low circle and keep that rod moving. And this does several things for you. 1, you can feel your bait a whole lot better. You can just tell where the bait is the whole time. If you do like a start, stop, start type of a deal, that bait flips around and you feel it when it's jerking at the end of the slack line, but you don't have a good sense of where it is the whole time. It also keeps a nice low trajectory, and so many times when we're bass fishing, that low trajectory is exactly what we want. And then by keeping that rod tip moving, making that circle, you also build up the amount of energy that you're then going to launch straight off into that cast. So nice low circle, keep it moving, and boom, you're right there, you're good to go. So that's number 1. The second thing, I'll never forget this. I was just a kid watching Bill Dance Outdoors one time on television, and he had an episode on casting, and I'll never forget it. He said, take a $1 bill and then stick it up there in your armpit and make sure that $1 bill doesn't drop. Well, you could do that with anything you've got laying around in a boat, piece of paper, whatever. Stick it up in there, roll cast, boom. Keep that arm locked down. Makes a huge difference. It feels a little bit weird at first if you haven't done that or practiced it or tried it, but I'm telling you, it's less moving parts, and when you have less moving parts, your accuracy goes way up. It's like a pitcher in baseball. They have that same repetitive motion, and they want to keep that head still, the head quiet, less moving parts, and they can be very, very accurate. By keeping your arm locked down, you do the exact same thing. And the third thing that we can do is to go ahead and really keep our eyes on target. Now, this is something that beginner anglers often struggle with till they kind of get over that transition phase, is they'll watch their lure. How many times you've seen people that are just starting to fish and they'll watch the lure, watch it go back, and then forward, they'll look at it right here and be kind of watching their lure. You have to trust that lure is going to go where you want it to go. You've got to keep your eyes on target. So if I've got a target picked out right here and I'm looking at it, boom, I just go ahead and stare at that thing, go through my nice motion, and by looking at that target, the odds of me hitting that target go way, way up. And then I also like to try to make sure that my rod tip finishes the follow through. Back to that baseball analogy, the follow through, make sure that rod tip finishes right where you want it to go. and that's going to just make a huge difference. So if casting is something that you need to work on, and I think we all need to work on it, I know I do after spending a day with Gerald in the boat, I need to work on my casting a lot. But these three things right here are something that just a few minutes can make a huge difference in your placement, and your placement is going to make a big difference in the number of bites you get, which means you're going to bring a lot more fish to the boat a lot more often. And if you would like to watch a video on 2 different types of casts that you can kind of work into your bag of tricks, go ahead and check this one out right here. And don't forget to go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life for the bass fishing life. I'm your host, Steve Rogers.